So today is January the 10th, and this week I've got a week off work, so I'm trying to get as much done as possible on the film. Start the ball rolling with a lot of stuff. Later on today I'm going to be visiting a friend of mine who's an actress, and she's got a costume that I'm hopefully going to use in the film. One of the scenes in the film, the opening scene in the film, is our main character Alice and her boyfriend Chris are returning from a Halloween party, and they're dressed as a bride and groom. Dressed as bride and groom zombies. It's just a little bit of fun at the beginning of the film. So what I wanted was like a wedding dress and a veil for Alice's costume. And it turns out that Anna, my friend Anna, she's got this costume. She was going to go as like kind of a zombie bride to this event or something she was going to do, and she never used it. So she's got this wedding dress, a veil. Apparently it's a white wedding dress with a black veil and a black bouquet of flowers. So that might be interesting. I'm going to have a look at that today, so I'm going to go along there. Also today I am going to do some prop making. I'm going to make 3 different props today. I'm going to make some stick figures like the ones in the Blair Witch Project. I'm going to try and make my own versions of those. So I'm going to do a little tester today to see how that kind of pans out. I want to do some cardboard cutouts of like kind of bats and skulls and stuff. These things are just going to hang from the ceiling in Alice's bedroom. And I'll show you an example of exactly what I'm looking for. So this is just kind of like what I'm hoping to do, is to kind of get some cardboard cutout silhouettes of some spooky things, like, you know, like you've got a skull there, you've got a spider, you've got some ravens, bats. So I'm hopefully going to do something like that. Also, what I want to do is I want to try and do some of these kind of stick figures that were in the Blair Witch Project. Not necessarily copying them exactly like that, but I'm going to do kind of my own versions. And that's mainly because Alice is like a horror fan, and so she's going to have all these little kind of things like decorating her bedroom. It's kind of a little homage to certain kind of horror films, and there's a few other little homages throughout the film as well, so I'm not going to say exactly what they are. You might be able to spot them once you eventually get to see the film. The first thing that I want to do is I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to use these little plastic eyeballs, which I showed you in one of the other videos, and I'm going to make a very, very simple little prop that we're going to use in Alice's bedroom with these. So I'm going to show you this. So I'll come down to the kitchen, and what I'm going to do with these eyeballs is I'm going to put them into this jar, and so it looks like a jar of eyeballs. So it's a bit of a ghoulish kind of prop that Alice is going to have in her bedroom. So you kind of get the image I'm looking for with this jar of pickled onions. So I'm going to empty these pickled onions out, replace them, wash that out obviously, place them with the eyeballs, and then I'm going to add the key ingredient, which is going to make it look kind of ghoulish. So just bear with us while I wash this jar out. I'm going to remove the label obviously, and then we'll see what it looks like. So I am just trying to take the label off of this pickled onion jar, because obviously we don't want pickled onion label on with the store name on it. So I'll stick it over there. And I don't want to waste the pickled onions, obviously, so I'm going to just open this, and then I'm going to just put all the pickled onions and the vinegar into this container. And we can save them for later. Stick them in the fridge. Now, Just going to wash this jar out, so I'll come back in a second. So now that I've washed and dried the pickled onion jar, I've filled it partly with just cold water, tap water. And I'm going to put these eyeballs into the jar. Let's see what happens. I've got some runaway eyeballs. Just pick those up. Here we go. Right, so push them in like that. Just adjust the camera so you can see the full jar. Let's have a look. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Once the jar's on, they'll be pushed down further. I was thinking about putting maybe a little bit of, kind of bit of plastic in the top to kind of weight that down a little bit so the eyeballs will go further down, which I may or may not do yet. But to make it look more sinister and ghoulish, what I'm going to do is I bought some kind of fruit juice. This is a cherries and berries one, so it's I wanted a red one because it's supposed to simulate blood. So I'm going to put this in here and it should hopefully dye. There you go. Oh, lovely. So that looks like a little bit like blood, doesn't it? So that's kind of what I was looking for. Obviously, the more you put in, the darker it's going to get. So that looks. That's kind of what I was aiming for. So if you just stick that in as well. Let's have a look. Put the lid on. There you go. Little jar of eyeballs, and that's going to sit on maybe Alice's dressing table. Just in our bedroom, and that's a cheap and easy way to make a little kind of prop. And it's, remember, this is not, these are not supposed to be real eyeballs. These are just supposed to be a little Halloween prop that Alice has in her bedroom. So they're not supposed to look like real eyeballs, but just gives that kind of ghoulish atmosphere to her bedroom. Because we're going to have just, can you imagine, like the low lights and some kind of spooky kind of music going on in the background as well. So that would make this more of a kind of ghoulish kind of item in the bedroom, and all the other stuff that she's going to have in as well. So that's one thing done. So the next prop I'm going to make is one of those silhouette shapes that I was showing you a picture of. So I've done a little kind of a template. I don't think you can quite see that with the light. It's if I turn it that way you can see it. So it's a skull image, and what I need to do now is kind of cut out the eye sockets, the nose, the mouth. So I'm going to do that now. So all I'm going to do now is just to kind of cut these, like I say, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and that out. And I'm just going to, with the bigger sections, I'm just going to cut with a pair of scissors, and then for the smaller sections, I've got a little scalpel, so I'm just going to carefully go through and cut out these little, all the little teeth in here. And this will be my little template, which I'm going to then use to cut out the shapes on the black card. And I'm going to do several of those, and they're going to be hung up on the ceiling. So that is the template that I'm going to use to do the skulls. Actually, I might do a variety of kind of a combination of black and white skulls. Maybe. It looks pretty good at the minute, but it's taken me a good 16 minutes just to draw this and cut this out. And if I want quite a few of these, this is going to take a hell of a long time. So I think what I'm going to do, because I originally intended to do not just the skulls but some kind of birds, spiders, etc. But I mean these look really good, so I think I might just stick to doing the skulls and just have a few skulls hanging around the ceiling. In fact, I think I actually prefer the white, so I might just do the white possibly. I'll do a black one as well, see what it looks like. So this is the more or less the finished product of a cutout of a skull. What I've decided to do was, because I like the white with the black eyes, so what I've done is I've decided to make a little sandwich. So there's two white and a black in the middle. As you can see, it's still wet with a bit of glue in there, and then just tied it. I'm going to be suspended from the ceiling, and I'm going to have a few of these kind of hanging from the ceiling. So those stick figures that I have still yet to make. Looks pretty good actually. I might do some black ones as well as an alternative, like I've already said. So that's that. I'm going to call it a day now, because it's getting late at night. It's nearly 7 o'clock, and I'm knackered, so I'm going to try and do the stick figures tomorrow, and I need to do a lot more of these as well. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow. Catch you soon.